Joint Secretary at the state level to come to the dais. President Dr. Vaibhav, would you call the meeting to order?
Meeting called to order.
Tamiltai Valtu. Prayer.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் மதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் எக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாள் அவனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம்பியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
The strength to lift at least a part of the burden of my suffering fellow men and a true realization of the privilege that is mine. Take from my heart all pride and worldliness, that with the simple faith of a child I rely on thee. Indian Medical Association prayer. May everybody be happy, may every one of us see to it that nobody suffers from any pain or sorrow. I do not ask for a crown, nor do I wish to be born in heaven or reborn. I only want to alleviate the suffering of those people who are burning in the fire of sorrow. May I request you all to continue to stand for a minute in silence in homage to our senior member, Dr. Jayalakshmi, who passed away recently. She has been an active participant until a few years ago when she stayed away for health-related reasons. She passed away recently, and I would like all of us to think of her and pray for her family.
Branch President Dr. Sheila and other office bearers participated. Dr. Shanta Narayan, our past President, and Dr. Sumitra, our past Secretary, Dr. Vaidamari and Dr. Saravanan were lauded for their phenomenal work for the previous year. Winning 21 awards and making a strong statement at state national level was something we cherish. Dr. Vaibhav Suresh will be our present President. He rendered a very eloquent speech about his previous roles in our branch and at the state level. The first CME of the year 2026 witnessed speakers from MGM Mother Hospital on prevention, early detection and personalized treatment, the three cornerstones of medicines. Cardiologist Dr. Manohar explained the cardiac parameters and how best to achieve them. The endocrinologist Dr. Meghar Prasad at length discussed about obesity management, and the active participation of members were a delight for all of us. Self-introduction I would like you to have, because there are so many newcomers today. Let's know who are the newcomers. Please start from there, sir. Newcomers, sir. Newcomers. They have come to felicitate Dr. Devaji Rao. Please, sir.
I'm Dr. Vishwakar, Manager of Research, National of Devaji Rao. Actually, clinical and surgical, they don't go together. Those are good in caring, they take up MD. Those who are surgical skills, they go to MS. It is a combination of both. So he has both surgical skills and clinical knowledge. And I am very glad that I am his classmate. I wish him all the success. All the best.
Welcome, sir.
I'm Dr. Vijay Sarathi. Myself and Dr. Devaji are classmates in post-graduation and as undergraduate. Maybe more than 50 years. I know he has very great skills.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just a small announcement.
regarding Women's Day function on March 14th. We are going to hold a Patti Mandram. So I want to announce that those who are interested in participating should give their names today. Topic I'll tell you later. Okay. I'll tell the topic. For a successful marriage, who is contributing more, husband or wife? Thank you. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to the dignitaries on the dais and all the members and the visitors. Today is our first monthly CME by the new set of office bearers. This day is unique in the sense that a luminary, Dr. Sudha Seshayan, has kindly consented to be our chief guest and launched 3 books authored by our member, Dr. Devaji Rao. Madam, we extend a warm welcome to you. We are thankful to you. We are thankful to you for being with us and we feel honored. 3rd February is celebrated as Women Physicians Day in honor of the first woman physician, Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. It augurs well to have you, who has reached great heights in the medical field, on this day amidst us. Madam, all of you know, is a household name in Tamil Nadu. Madam had been Vice Chancellor of Dr. MGR Medical University, holds the post of Director of the Institute of Anatomy of Madras Medical College. She is at present the Director of Shastra University, Chennai campus. She has over 30 books to her credit. She has translated the book of former President Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam into Tamil. She is proficient in many languages, to name a few: Tamil, English, Sanskrit. She is widely known for her eloquence, profound knowledge of scriptures, and her style of delivery of her discourses. They are appreciated by the people of Tamil Nadu. Not only that, beyond our borders and the entire Tamil diaspora all over the world. Her Velukavadai in Tirupavai and Tiruvambavai over several years is a great feat among the elderly, including me. Her narratives during the Tiruvannamalai Kartika Deepam and Kumbhabhishekam of Madurai Meenakshi Amman Temple were classical. She is the only orator in Tamil chosen to represent the Tamil Mahanadu. Now let me introduce our member, Dr. Devaji Rao. He hails from a family of doctors, 5 generations of doctors, all of them from Stanley Medical College. Particularly his father and grandfather have been Stanleyans. He did surgery, is undergraduate in Stanley and his post-graduation in AIIMS Delhi. He excelled in his UG days and got the anatomy prize. With his penchant for teaching, he had been training undergrads and postgraduates. He delivered several lectures in teaching institutions. His special interests are surgical gastroenterology and surgical oncology. He has presented papers in various conferences. He is a recipient of Sundaram Award and a paper for benign somatostatinoma of the pancreas at the First World Congress in Hepatobiliary Surgery in Sweden. It earned him laurels. He underwent training in Shevai Medical University, Japan, under the eminent liver surgeon Dr. Nagase. Recently, he got the Academic Excellence Award from IMA Tamil Nadu State Branch. He is a prolific writer since a quarter century. He has authored over 16 books of surgery and related specialties. His clinical manual of surgery is widely applied. All his books are available as e-books and in the printed format also. His book, General Surgical Emergencies, has been translated into Spanish also. He is a life member of our branch since 2005. He has served our branch as Assistant Director of Studies, Vice President, and President also. We are jubilant that his latest books are going to be released today by Madam. I request our Chief Guest, Dr. Sudha Seshayan, to release the books.
has done a wonderful MMC alumni meet last month, and yesterday MMC day. Actually, it's 191 years. So our former dean, Dr. Mohan Sundaram, will greet the Sudha session. Thank you, madam, for accepting our.
May I request Dr. Vaibhav, our president, to receive the first copy of Dr. Devaji's book, Every Patient is a Narrative. Book. May I request Dr. Vijay Sarathi, bosom friend of Dr. Devaji Rao, to receive the booklet, first copy of the autobiography, The Surgeon in Me. I request Dr. Lakshmi Narayanan, our chairperson of the Women Doctors Wing, to receive the third book of his, Dr. Danya's Diaries. I'm sorry for misspelling her name. It is Dr. Lakshmi Nagarajan. So what do we do now? I request our chief guest, Dr. Sudha Seshayan, to say a few words about Dr. Devaji Rao.
Warm greetings to one and all here in this IMA Chennai South special occasion where 3 books by Dr. Devaji Rao are being released. Thank you very much for making me a part of this pleasant occasion, and my very sincere and hearty congratulations to Dr. Devaji Rao for continually authoring his thoughts and bringing them out as books. In fact, when Dr. Devaji Rao initially called me in to this program, I was a little hesitant. Hesitant primarily for one single reason. I had known the amount of books that have been authored by him, and I was a little apprehensive to be in the presence of such a prolific writer and author. But then it was again both Dr. Devaji Rao and Dr. Vaibhav who kind of insisted that I should be here, and I'm very thankful to both of you because that has given me this wonderful honor of being with you. I'm a lover of books, and I'm a little pained to think that the current generation is not that very proximal to books. And I believe an experienced person like Dr. Devaji Rao should put down whatever thoughts or whatever experiences that they've gained and make them reachable to subsequent generations. I'm really intrigued by that particular title. In fact, I just wanted to, cursorily glance through a few pages, but before that I was called in here. The intriguing title which says, The Surgeon in Me, My Autobiography. So I just wanted to kind of think how things could be from the surgeon's perspective, and here was Dr. Viswakumar, as his usual style, trying to say academics and skill do not very normally go together, but then in Devaji Rao they have been combined well. Similarly, I also asked him as to what that Danya's Diaries book is on, and he said all fictional stories. Great, sir. It's very heartening to know that a surgeon like you is also thinking of fiction and writing stories with a fictional character by name Danya. I was, a little puzzled to know why that particular name Danya, but then he said that's a fictional character. And the third book kind of relates to both, I would say. One is your autobiography, one talks about what you have gone through, your experiences, and I'm sure the other fictional book should have been an outcome of what experiences that you have had. Your thought process or whatever you tend to create would definitely depend on the kind of experiences that you have had. I would only like to request the members here to kind of encourage such outpouring. Maybe there are a few more authors in you, and some of you could give probably a tough competition to Dr. Devaji Rao also, and you may consider putting down your thoughts and your experiences. Today we are in a world where we think about experiential learning. Gone are those days when learning was more based on theory. Of course, from the medical fraternity, we can always say we had what is being talked of as apprentice or internship in economics and other areas today. We've had it right from the beginning. However, experiences do matter a lot. It could be that someone is adept with theoretical knowledge, someone is adept with what is being shown in the YouTube. Nevertheless, when it comes down to kind of exercising and executing a particular action or a skill, the experience matters. And that is why writings from a person like Dr. Devaji Rao is important. What has been gathered as wisdom? Wisdom is completely experiential. I might know how to operate a camera, I might know how to operate a laptop, but then the experience of touching the button or touching the spare part and then trying to say, don't hold it this way, hold your finger a little obliquely, then you get a better quality of the picture or whatsoever. That small, minute detail that comes from experience is what that makes something better and better and better, something transmissible. And that is why I'm so jealous of Dr. Devaji Rao for having churned out so many books out of his experience, and see all that keeps coming. I think it takes some time for us to read the titles, and I'm really thankful to you, sir. This is collection of your knowledge, your groundwork. I have one other reason to say this. I'm sure many people here would have studied books which were authored by the Europeans or people from the West. Many of our medical textbooks had always been from the West. And somehow we've always been given a thought that what comes from there is the best. But very often, practical work has shown many of the data, many of the statistics which comes from the West was not well fitting for Indian standards and Indian circumstances. Number two, the language. I was at Madras Medical College and subsequently at the university, the span of about 10 years, starting from 2012 to 2022, I have noticed that there had been a larger demand for books by Indian authors. Books like, when you want something, clinical manual of surgery and things like that, where they have wanted books from Indian authors. And believe me, not the Indian students have demanded for books from the Indian authors, but then the European students have demanded such books. The European market today is flooded with medical and science textbooks, medical and science literature which has been authored by Indian people. The reason, the language is understandable and it gives facts which are congenial to their society too. Many of the European countries feel, the reading population of the European countries feel that whatever statistics that goes from here, from out of experience from this land, holds a lot of truth inside, holds a lot of practicality inside. And that is why the demand had been increasing. You all might have noticed there are lots of publishers, Indian publishers, South Indian publishers, who have been flooding the market and asking for material to be put down. So that way, I think Dr. Devaji Rao is a trendsetter. Sir, may you continue to write more and more. And probably, I would only wish IMA Chennai South, may IMA Chennai South keep on releasing such books, find occasions to release more and more of your writing, and probably a small little wish, I may also be a participant in such prospective occasions. And I also request, may the tribe of Dr. Devaji Rao increase. Let all of us think of ways to transmit whatever experiential knowledge that we have gained to future generations for the benefit of the community and for the cause of healthcare. Thank you very much. And once again, Dr. Devaji Rao, please accept my hearty congratulations. But I would also like to congratulate Mrs. Devaji Rao and the members of the family, because somebody was saying, oru family nalla irukanonna adu husband wife அப்படின்னெல்லாம் ஏதோ பட்டி மண்டபம் somebody was saying. But ma'am, one word of caution, the men அப்படின்னு பேசுறவங்க கிட்டலாம் அவங்க வைஃப்ட்ட பர்மிஷன் வாங்கிட்டாங்களான்னு கேட்டுக்கோங்க. Good, that's good. Anyhow, my sincere congratulations to Mrs. Devaji Rao. Can I, ma'am, where are you? Ma'am, I'm sure that you had been behind all this work. So our pranams to you and to all members of Dr. Devaji Rao's family for allowing him to come up with such lovely books. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Known as Kalpana Devaji Rao, and the daughters are Bhavana and Kirtana. The granddaughters, please spell out your names. Thank you so much, ma'am, for extolling the virtues of the medical books written by our Indian authors. It is an eye-opener for all of us. And all the more we cherish the books written by Dr. Devaji Rao. And as you said, there are many more writers in our group, ma'am. May I request Dr. Devaji Rao to say a few words?
Good afternoon. Today we had a very colorful book release. I think this is the first ever function held at the IMA Chennai South, and we had the greatest luminary Dr. Sudha Seshayan doing this job. In fact, she should pardon me for pestering her. I made many calls and disturbed her because I don't mind, because I wanted her to be here. I was very selfish in the sense that Sen should be here to release any book. In fact, this is my 5th book release. I've done already 4 book releases. And it is not very new to me, but I think it's customary for the author to talk about the released books. But when you look at the books which are released today, you have to go back, evolution of my authoring work. It should go back to 2003. In fact, at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, which my post-graduation, which I did in the late 1970s. In the evening rounds, we used to have the registrar taking rounds and giving us lots of points, tips and tricks. And that evening rounds was one of the most enjoyable rounds we had. In fact, Dr. Vijay Sarthi is here. The whole hospital, every unit used to have the evening rounds. And such jottings slowly became voluminous. And in fact, when I keep reading those jotted notes frequently, because they're not given in the standard textbook. They are the personal experiences of the registrars which they have encountered in their life. Very interestingly presented. So as I was going through that in 2003, I was wondering whether it should go waste or we should give it to the next generation. So I wanted to put it on paper, somehow bring it together, but the idea was how to do it. Give it just like that as a handwritten script is not going to be of any value. If you want to print it and give it free of charge, it's not going to be of any value. If you want to charge, then you'll have to spend a lot of money to print it out. And marketing will be a tough job. So all this made me think as to what I should do with this written material. Then suddenly when I was looking through my daughter's dentistry books, I came across a publisher, JP Brother Medical Publishers. I was told that he was a very popular man at that time, and I contacted them by email, sent my sample chapter. That came the reply, so we accepted in principle to publish that. But they wanted drawings, color illustrations, and color photographs. The reason being, all books are generally Xeroxed and sold at a very small rate. If you add on color photographs and color illustrations, the Xeroxing, color Xeroxing becomes expensive. So you'll have to buy the original book. So that was the answer the publisher gave. And he asked me to write a book on gastrointestinal surgery. Which is my favorite topic. So I wrote that. It contained lots of handwritten drawings and color photographs. But surprisingly, it was sold in very large numbers, and I got a sum of money as royalty. I was really shocked to see that my presentation of my book could sell like that. And in fact, it was sold, most of it was sold in England. So I was really happy. And at the same time, he gave another project, gastrointestinal surgery with explanatory answers. So I did that. That was also selling very well. And that was the time the publisher thought I'm a good saleable author, in the sense that my presentation would be sold, and he was looking at the business part. And then he made me write another book. In the meantime, I got this book released by my professor, Dr. I.K. Dhawan from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, and my classmate, Dr. Surendran, a popular liver surgeon, received the first copy at St. Isabel Hospital auditorium. Then the third book came. He wanted this as a gastrointestinal surgeries made easy. In the sense, it was more like an atlas, step by step, it used to come. So every page will give you how to operate. You can even see the page and then operate. See the page and operate. And that was made so easy. And this book was released by Dr. N.S. Murali of Voluntary Health Services under the presidency of Dr. T.D. Durirajan, pediatric surgeon of the time. And my classmate, Professor K.S. Ravishankar, received the first copy. So this is the inside of the book, and every page is very colorfully taken. In fact, if you look at the way the book was made, as I used to operate, I used to ask my anesthetist to leave the head side, give a camera, take a proper photograph, and then I used to say okay. But to say okay, he has to take about 10-15 photographs because he's not a good photographer. So he doesn't know what I want. So it was a very tough job. My surgeries, which used to finish in about 1 hour, used to go on for 2.5 hours because of these photographs. So it was a very painful exercise, and the anesthetists used to get disgusted with me. Instead of giving anesthesia, they're taking photographs, and most of the photographs were getting rejected by me. Anyway, it turned out to be an excellent manual, and it also sold in large numbers. Then came the gastrointestinal surgery atlas, and this was again sold in England by the ancient publishers. And again, in 2010, the 5th surgery book, the differential diagnosis and surgical diseases, came. So this is purely my idea. It's very easy to follow this book. So if you have a patient, you can have a patient in front of you and go through the pages and make a diagnosis. So that sort of a ease you can have with this book. So everything was getting sold very well, and this is the inside of the book. Then every disease had a differential diagnosis, and this is very easy to follow for any student. And then came the masterpiece, the Clinical Manual of Surgery. With JP, I offered to make this competition to S. Das. All of us have read this K. Das book. For years and years it's been there. For 48 years, the K. Das died away. Then after that, Somen Das, his son, came. He followed the same scripts, same photographs, same black and white photographs for 48 years. The book was not changed at any point of time, at any part. Then I thought I should give a competition for this chap. So I offered to do a multi-author book and involved 36 authors, of which about 20 were my classmates, and they were all professors in different colleges. My thinking was that when 36 people are working at the same time simultaneously at different levels, different places, the book can be produced in a very short time. But my calculation went wrong, because classroom teachers were not good writers are not good teachers. This problem came, and many surgeons said that I'm not good in English, I don't have photographs. Some excuses were there, and ultimately it took 9 years for me to make this book. This is a 1,000-page book consisting of 1,400 color photographs. In fact, I would consider this as the best clinical surgery book produced in India, but it is also sold in quite a good large number. But you see there's a lot of politics. Certain areas it is not getting sold for some reason, because they have their own books like the Manipal Manual and SRB and all that. So I'm a stiff competitor for them. So this book is selling very well, and this is also available in the ebook form. So many of my postgraduates, when I ask questions, they just go back a few steps, look into the ebook thing, and then keep answering. Immediately they do that. A technical advantage these people have these days. And this is one of the best books I have produced. This is the inside. Every step, it is like a cookery book. Like in cookery, there's a cookery book, you see, this is brinjal, this is lady's finger. Like they go to such a fundamental thing. And this book has given such a fundamental details. And any ordinary any graduate, but this is third year book. Actually, it is not meant for postgraduates, but I was told that postgraduates are using in many colleges these days. Then came the book on general surgical emergencies. This is also my own idea, first of its kind in the medical literature. There are no books available in this format. So this book can be kept in the casualty. Any doctor can look into the pages and quickly they can treat the patient immediately seeing this. It contains starting from the etiology to the treatment part. But this was welcomed in Spain and the South American countries, and this was translated in Spanish. Then seeing my journey in the medical book publishing, there was another publisher called Annie Books. He wanted another book called Instant General Surgery. It's a question answer book, because these days students don't want big books. Like Madam said, nobody is wanting a huge book like Harrison and Cecil Loeb and all that. They don't want that. They want small books and small things like carry-on manual. Like I used to tell them, you're carrying a book like Konar notes of those days. You're not a doctor at all. In fact, carrying a small books and just answer immediately and forget about it. They're not trying to build up the knowledge. So this book came, it's a question answer book. So these are the inside of these books. But if you see, all my books are very illustrative. And seeing this, one of my professors said, your book is almost close to Hamilton Bailey's Clinical Science, which has got so many photographs, and you also seem to be putting more photographs than the script. So somehow I enjoy doing this, and my books are very colorful. So then there was another offer which came from the Elsevier. In fact, the previous book was published by Elsevier, not by the Indian author, Indian publisher. And he gave me an offer saying that he wanted a surgery for dental students. And again, I had to take the help of my daughter, who is a dentist, Dr. Kirtana. And both of us together made a book for the dental students, which is also quite popular in that dental sector. And at the same time, there was an offer coming from JP wanting a snapshots in gastroenterology, which consists of medical and surgical aspects of gastroenterology. That book was released at the digestive endoscopy workshop called DUE, usually held every year by the Mid-India Hospital. And this was released by Colonel Krishnan, gastroenterologist, Apollo Hospital, Chennai. And the Dr. T.S. Chandrasekhar, chairman of Mid-India Hospital, received the first copy. Then the authorship, the publishing work came to a standstill. In 2020, the COVID lockdown came, and no one was interested in publishing any books because colleges were closed, hospitals were closed. And then I thought I also didn't have any book. I was not operating. So I thought I'll do something worthwhile. Then I looked into the publication, self-publishing business. And Amazon Kindle Publishing is self-publishing business house where you can do your own designing, writing, publishing, and selling. Everything can be done. Very user-friendly. So I did the first of its kind book, Crosswords in Clinical Surgery, which has 1,000 questions. In total, you like any crossword, one answer leads to the next question, next answer. This is like that. Then the eponyms came, eponyms in orthopedics. I called one of my friends, Dr. V. Tulasi Raman, an orthopedic surgeon, to jointly we did the eponyms in orthopedics. Again, this is one of its kind. You don't have a book of this nature, where the diseases are explained in diagrams. The eponym author is given in photographs. It's a very pictorial book. It's not seen in anywhere. Then this is a time pass book I made. This is clinical conditions, and we used to give 4 answers. It's all useful for students who appear for entrance examination. Then the same lockdown period, soon after that I learned the trick of self-publishing. Then I thought there is no point going to any publisher. So I made a book on eponyms in surgery. This is fairly voluminous because it contains all specialties in surgery. And there is a book called FAQs, Frequently Asked Questions in Surgery. It's a very interesting book. If somebody reads it, it is something like a novel. In fact, question, answer, it goes as a full stepwise fashion. This is the inside of these books. So today you saw 3 books, the latest 3 books released by Dr. Sudha Seshan today. And these 3 books, well, the first one is Every Patient is a Narrative. All of us would have experienced this, that every patient is a character by himself. In a period of 20 years, 25 years of service, medical service, you would have seen that these patients have characteristics like courage, ignorance, temptation, whatever English language knows. But they don't deviate from, in spite of the illness, a courageous man remains courageous, an angry man remains angry. So you see that if forgetting about all his illnesses, he continues to be an angry man. So all these attributes, I put it in the book. 36 cases, somehow 36 cases I've gathered and put it. It is not out of memory. In fact, I have the records of my patients from 1981. Every consultation I have a record. I have the record with me. Going through that and recollecting how they behaved. And also I noted down some people who have behaved so badly with certain nurses and hospitals. I put all that in an interesting manner. In fact, there was one patient who was operated in 1981 for a CA rectum by me. That was my first ever surgical case, in fact, first ever oncology case. So he's a family friend of ours who came with a bleeding per rectum, and I made a diagnosis of rectal carcinoma. It was a moderately differentiated carcinoma, and I told them he has to undergo an APR with a terminal colostomy. And he said, go ahead. He was so innocent, he didn't know what is what. Then I told him, I'm a surgeon, I have not done it before. This is the first ever case I'm going to operate. He said, go ahead. Then he said, I've seen you being a family friend. He said, I've seen you since school days. You've been putting lots of effort in studying, and you must gather so much of knowledge. I have confidence in you, you go ahead. So he kept on encouraging me, and ultimately I had to do the APR. And he did very well. In fact, there is no complications at all. In those days, we used to give about 8 units of blood for any APR and 2 teams operating, and this was not so easy what we are doing today. And we didn't have the radiation because radiation was not recommended for adenocarcinoma. And the chemotherapy was in his very, very infant stage. So nothing was given to him. Staging was not done. The TNM staging was not available that time. I just operated on him, and I just kept following up with simple liver function test. And he was living, no problems at all. So I was just patting on my back, and okay, I've done a good job. And I still keep a track with him. And I understood and attended his 100th birthday in 2023. See, that is the longest survivor of my patients. The first ever case operated in 81 and lived up to, he is still living. He has conducted the marriage of 4 daughters. He had lost his wife, but he is still living. See, that is the greatness of medicine, where we have no. In fact, this is the function I attended. This is a person who is still alive now. He attended the 100th birthday in 2023. So looking at that, I always feel that God has made the most patented product, the human being, one different from the other, but whose patent is still held only by himself, but not by anyone else. He's not giving the patent to anybody. So we are not able to say that we are going to treat you, we are going to cure you, and all these words are not there in the dictionary. In fact, some patients, when they come and ask me, sir, will I be cured? I said, cure is not in a dictionary at all. I'll tell you after 10 years, retrospectively, that you have been cured by me, not today. So that is how the human medicine is like that. So then the second book about the autobiography, then I was wondering whether I should write the autobiography, because many of my friends used to say, become a prolific writer and interested in writing, you have a passion of writing, why don't you do your own story? I said, fortunately for me, I never had bad patches in my life. So everything has gone very well. So bad patches to good patches is a sad story. So bad patches to good patches is a very sad story, and there's no point reading that autobiography. In fact, many people say, why should I read? That fellow had all sorts of problems in life, and why should I do that? But fortunately, I don't have all that. God has made my life quite comfortable. But at the same time, I was wondering why write an autobiography. At the first glance, it might seem unnecessary. Most of us see ourselves as ordinary individuals leading ordinary lives, but in reality is rather different. No life is ordinary. Each person's story is uniquely personal and entirely their own, shaped by experiences, perspectives, and defining moments, but that no one else in history has lived. So it is very unique, and I thought I should do that. So I've done the book, and I've named it The Surgeon in Me. So you might be surprised to know that right from the age of 5, I was always wanting to become a doctor, probably because in our house, everybody was a doctor. But surprisingly, there was no lady doctor. We had all gentlemen doctors, my father, grandfather, both grandfathers, and so many people. So I used to write in my school book, Dr. Devaji Rao, MBBS FRCS. In a book at the age of 5, I did not know what is FRCS, what is that. But I used to imagine that I am always a doctor. So becoming a surgeon came much later, and that is still in me. So I've named it as The Surgeon in Me. That forms the most part of my life. The last is the fiction story book. Why this? I think I've been a very serious man, doing all sorts of serious work, all the time talking about patients. In fact, my wife used to say that I'm a misfit in this house because she is not a doctor. Every time you keep talking about some patient or other, even at the dining table, saying that he has become all right, there is something there, pus coming, blood coming, this, that. So one part she didn't like that. The second part she used to feel inferior that she is not a doctor. But thinking that, I thought I'll put my ideas, just float it out around. And then I got some story. And this is a story which revolves around the jottings of a South Indian girl, Danya. It's an imaginary name. She gets into the habit of writing diaries under the guidance of her father, which give interesting details about her doctor parents. Again, like Madam said, it revolves again the doctor parents there, who led an exemplary life as good human beings. Suddenly the story takes an unexpected turn, but I won't like to slightly get a suspense, and the story gets really complicated. The diaries, which record all the details written by Danya, become the center point of the story. This story has love, affection, dignity, tragedy, and certainly a lot of money. In fact, one of my friends told me, why don't you make this into a movie? I said, how can this decent story can be made into a movie? He said, there is no problem. You add a little bad words here and there and add a little songs, it will become a good Tamil movie. That's the later side of it. And I have good reviews about this book, a couple of reviews I liked here. Tender and engaging tale of Danya, a young Indian woman studying in the US. Danya's diaries explores themes of love, longing, and self-discovery. Guided by her father's advice to keep a diary, Danya finds comfort and clarity through writing. Her relationship with the boy adds warmth to her journey, while a dramatic twist during her parents' visit to the US for a graduation ceremony brings emotional depth to the story. Poignant, thoughtful, and deeply rooted in Indian sensibilities, a classy read. This was by one of the very prolific writers, Sudhakar Narayanan, and Madam Dr. Sudha Seshan also had given a review saying that simple words, quite an interesting read. So I would like to thank and dedicate all my presentation, my entire medical career, to my parents, to my wife and my daughters and granddaughters. What have the daughters done? They have done a lot of proofreading, drawings, computer-aided drawings, and technical work. In fact, my second daughter was doing all this technical work. Without her, I'm fairly paralyzed in such gatherings. And my classmates, because some of them have participated in my book releases, and they gave good reviews, and my classmates wives are present in this photograph. They've been complimenting me for my work, so I'm thankful to them. And lastly, my patients for allowing me to take the photographs as I required for the books. And I dedicate to my gurus, Professor K.V. Thiruvengadam, Stanley Medical College, under whom I learned the art of clinical medicine, and Professor Indra Kumar Dhawan at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, who held my hand to perform the surgeries. And lastly, Lord Venkateswara, where I kept my application form for my MBBS course at the lotus feet of the Lord through somebody and produced it. And that's why I got my MBBS course. And thank you very much. But that's not all. So a book is a gift you can open again and again, what Garrison Keller says. And I'm giving you a return gift of Dhanya's Diaries as a complimentary book to all those attended here. One book per family. And thank you very much for having attended this. Thanks once again. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you.
Half an hour by the poignant story of his journey over 25 years in the surgical field. The enormous publication he had. From the age of childhood, he had been into surgery. Probably his genetics of 5 generations, the epigenetics, his perseverance, his motivation, and everything had been everything had borne fruit to make him what he is today. We are very, very proud of you, sir, and your, the publication. May God bless you to have more publications. We are very proud of you to have you in our midst. Let us give him a standing ovation. Hand over a memento to our member, Dr. Devaji Rao. It's an honor for us, sir.
Good evening, everybody. It gives me immense pleasure to propose the vote of thanks in the place of Dr. Mangai, our Finance Secretary, who is absent today. We thank Dr. Sudha Seshayan for gracing the occasion of releasing Dr. Devaji Rao's books, and to Dr. Devaji Rao, who has contributed so much to the medical fraternity through his books and his wide knowledge put to better use, and let him continue to release more books. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us, the association, this privilege of releasing your books after your esteemed Ames and VHS and Isabel Hospital. Thank you very much. I thank GSK, our sponsors for today's program. I thank all the members who are present today for this first CME under the presidency of Dr. Vaibhav. One thing I should mention is we missed out Dr. Vaibhav's welcome address, which he will give next CME. So it's very happy to note so many of Dr. Devaji Rao's friends also coming to grace this occasion. I thank one and all who have attended this function today. Thank you. We'll meet again next month.
Thank you.